Let's hit him with the TKO. Doom, doom. Yeah. Um, TKO, man. There's pros and there's cons to this, but I'm really starting to see that TKO is on a business tip. It might be the best thing that happened to WWE on a business level, but when it comes to altering the creative, being involved in the creative, these people don't have no idea what was like best for business on what makes the shows, what makes the pay-per-views, what makes the product good or fun. And then TKO has kind of turned Dirty into scam likely entertainment. Because come on, man. The two night Summer Slams is crazy to me. That just there's really no sense to that. When the WrestleMania 41, we see how that played out. You literally had last minute matches placed on the biggest show of the year. Last minute matches on WrestleMania, out of all things. So I don't know how SummerSlam is going to be any better. But that's scam likely entertainment for you. They're trying to milk out all the money they can get out of you. Because listen, TKO, this gives me WCW and AOL vibes. When that company took over WCW, they had no interest in wrestling. And at that time, WCW wasn't worth much as it was before AOL took over. This gives me the same vibes almost. It's a different scenario though, but Triple H, I'm not trying to give him an excuse, but it might be a valid excuse. He gives me the vibes where he may not have that much control over the creative, just like Eric Bischoff was struggling with creative at that time. He was struggling with creative. He was so much. It was only so much he can do. So this gives me those same vibes. I think Lee Fitting, whoever that is a TKO guy. Obviously, I never heard of this guy. And they show him at the end of the credits all the time. So, as executive producer, so he may not have full say so. I'm not saying Triple H is this the best creative of all, for what he done or what he can do. It's just it might be out of his control on certain things. Obviously, we've seen that WrestleMania 41. It wasn't even his call for The Rock to even be involved. It wasn't his call. The head boss, the CEO, called The Rock. Ariel Emanuel, I think that's his name. He the one called The Rock for the Elimination Chamber. You know what I'm saying? So that should, The Rock kind of spilled all the beans, really. There's clearly a power struggle with the TKO, and it gives me the same vibes, except the only scenario is different. TKO knows that WWE is worth a lot of money. So what they're doing is prostituting the WWE out. That's why they got 1,000 fucking subscribers, aka sponsors. They're prostituting the WWE out, bro. It's a business at the end of the day. Yeah, but that's why the ring is filled with all those sponsors. There's 1,000 ads because they are no different than a legend that been walking up and down the street selling that poo-tang for years, and that's why that bitch can charge you 500 or higher because she know how to make your world turn. They treating WWE no different than that bitch that's up and down that strip. Because WWE has a loyal fan base, generational loyal fan base. By the time WCW had to meet their end and had to meet AOL, it was a different scenario. WCW wasn't even worth that much money at the time. And then they dealt with people that felt like there was no worth into this shit. They didn't care about wrestling. There was no worth in it. There was no money to be made. If it was, they would have kept WCW around. They didn't care about it. And it wasn't worth shit at the time. WWE is superseding anything they have done on a business tip. Even before TKO took over, they were already superseding anything they was doing. They were already breaking their own records with gates and distributions and all this other shit. They was already breaking their own records. So they know WWE is worth a lot of money. They're just prostituting it out. Man, that's really simple. They prostitute the shit out of it. I just hate the fact that TKO might have a lot to do with the creative. That's one thing I got a problem with. It's very, like, the creative is very childish. It's very third grade. It's very lackluster. There's no enthusiasm in anything. And then it's a set up where, like, we gotta wait until the pay-per-view, but the shows are mid or average at best, or just there's trash most of the time, right? But the pay-per-views give you the big payoffs or whatever, but it's like half of the time, really. These pay-per-views be mid as well. The build-ups are mid, but at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on, because we know it's a power struggle, we know there's something going on, right? But at the end of the day, every year is not going to be great. No matter if Triple H is fully in control, no matter what's going on, wrestling always going to have down periods when it comes to the product. Even if business is booming, the product might be suffering because the business is booming. And, so sometimes that happens. I give you a prime example, WCW. The business was booming when NWO was around, but the product was suffering on a lot of levels. There was bright spots. You had Goldberg and all, but eventually after a while, you started to see the product was suffering, even though business was good on certain tips, right? Same thing here. The business is good, but the product is suffering. The creative is suffering. And it's just giving us little by little bitty things. And, after the WrestleMania controversy, it really shows what type of year we're in. And I just think this is a year that's going to have some bright spots, but it's going to be a pretty shitty year. Pretty shitty mid-year. It might have a couple of good pay-per-views, but WrestleMania definitely wasn't it. And WrestleMania is supposed to be the best show of the year, at least top 3. It's supposed to. It's not. It's no exceptions. It's WrestleMania. It's been 41 years of this shit. There's no exceptions why WrestleMania was so mid and so underwhelming, underdelivered. Yes, it was some pretty good matches, but it was underdelivered. I'm not blaming The Rock. I blame The Rock and Triple H, Lee Fitting, Nick Khan. I blame all of them. I blame the TKO, because the TKO are hustlers. That's why I said scam likely entertainment. TKO is hustlers, man. They are. I think TKO board meetings, I think they theme song in the back is the Cassidy I'm a Hustler song. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler. Nigga ask about. I think that's their theme song. I really before the meeting start, they all in the back. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, because they know they got fans that's gonna pay $40K. You niggas is crazy. I would never. I don't give a fuck if I had money to wipe my ass with. You got some good ones. I love wrestling, but $40K for some motherfucking front row tickets, you got me fucked up. If that $40K package don't allow me to bring about 80 motherfuckers with me, we all get backstage passes, we all get some free merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that package better be the best shit I ever heard, bro. Because other than that, you just get shit up front. You get to have an interest. Man, fuck all that, man. I better get free food. I'm paying $40K. I better get all types of shit. Pictures with any wrestler I want, any merch I want, any food. Man, fuck that. $40K. Niggas is wild. Scam likely entertainment. But I'm telling you though, man, TKO on a business level is not ruining the WWE. I just think on a creative side, I think the product is suffering because TKO is just worried about making the most money it can make. And any business should be worried about the same thing. Make the most money you can get. But don't forget, the product has to be good. McDonald's is a billion-dollar franchise. But McDonald's understands their signature foods have to still be good. They fries are, some people say, the best fries ever, right? It's a reason for that. They got to keep them that way or people will stop coming. They got to keep their Big Macs a certain way. They got to keep their double cheeseburgers. They got to keep their dollar menus. Shit that keeps people coming. The product still has to be good. And I just think the product has not been good. Has it been the most worst? No. Of course, we see worse times than this. But it's been very underwhelming, I could say. So, yeah, man. So I just, the pro is that WWE is in good hands. See, a lot of people feel like WWE is dying and it's going to be dead. And no, bro. Listen, bro. You got to be a fool to really believe that. The WWE has an entire factory of future talent just waiting. They have Evolve. They have NXT. They have a new Tough Enough show, Future Legends and Greats and all that. What are you talking about? They have a whole section. They have hundreds and thousands of people that are dying to get the WWE. Didn't I just tell you in a recent video that AEW is basically development for WWE at this point? Most of them are just gearing up to go to WWE soon. Everybody wants to be at the Mecca. WWE ain't never going away no matter how bad the product gets. Do not get fooled just because the product, the viewership may be down. Bro, we're about to enter a new digital era in the next maybe 5 to 10 years where views ain't going to mean shit. That's why I really believe, I don't think they give a fuck that Netflix viewership is not getting that high. I don't think they care. It's the revenue that they give a fuck about. It's still making money. I don't think they give a fuck. I'm sure they would love for the views to be higher, but I think as long as it's more than 1 million or higher, I don't think they care that much, bro. I really believe that because business is still booming. Business-wise, they're still booming. That's what they mean by a boom period. The market is higher than it's ever, not ever, man. As far as the money in WWE is higher than it's ever been. That's just a fact, whether you like it or not. But on a business level, the market is at an all-time high at this point. Doesn't matter if you don't like AEW. They're going to get $500K. It doesn't fucking matter. There's a billionaire backing this. The market has changed. Do you realize a guy like Swerve that was a mid-carder is getting money? I mean, mad money? Do you realize girls like Mercedes Moné is getting mad money? The market is higher. The market's changed. When they said business is booming, they meant the business side. Of course this ain't big as Attitude Era. Of course this ain't big as the Monday Night Wars, viewership-wise. But at that time, business was nowhere near the way it is now. But if it wasn't for that time, we wouldn't be here, of course. But we gotta play the cards how it is. In today's time, it's more money than it's ever been in wrestling, bro. When they say this is a boom period, that's what they mean. They got shit to do with the in-ring. That's why I told you, I know this is a side note, but that's why I told you niggas, this is why Cody Rhodes got his spot. He helped the market grow. It ain't got shit to do with none of his indie runs. That's why he got his spot. And no, he's not going to the mid-card for all the Cody haters. Why would they do that? They put all this stock behind him. Make that make sense. He's one of the faces of the company, whether you like it or not. But TKO, on a business tip, they're one of the best things that ever happened to WWE. But on a creative note and putting in stock into the product, it's been very lackluster. It's been very underwhelming, underdelivered, and it needs a new boost of creative. It needs more enthusiasm in the creative. So that's all I got to say about TKO and the WWE at this point. What do you guys think? Like, share, subscribe, comment below, all the other good shit. We are out.